Hey guys, let's make a monster puppet. In your bag you will have a cardstock sheet, and this has the 3 templates that you will be tracing in order to make your puppet. So the first thing you're going to do is cut them out. Make sure you're cutting on the line the best that you can, because we want our puppets to be accurate and all of the pieces to fit together when we're finished. When you're done cutting, you should end up with 3 separate templates. One is the jaw, one is the face, and one is the mouth. Now you'll notice that the face and the jaw pieces fit together like this to make a rectangle. On your mouth template, you want to make sure that you have cut those little triangles off on the corners. So now what we're going to do is trace. You will also have 2 pieces of foam in your bag. There is a triangular piece, maybe not a perfect triangle, but it is triangular, and then a rectangular piece. So it'll look something like this. The colors might be slightly different. So the triangular piece is your mouth. Yours might be red or pink or black. Either one works fine. And then your rectangular piece is for your puppet's face and jaw. When I lay my template pieces on top, I can see that they fit clearly inside the perimeter. What I want to do is trace around both of these pieces. I'm going to start with the big one, and I'm going to scoot it as close as I can to the edge while still being able to trace and cut, because I want to make sure that I am using my foam wisely in case I want to add some extra parts onto my puppet later. So I have traced now around the bigger shape. When I start to do the smaller shape, I'm going to line the edge of that one up with the edge of my bigger piece, just like it was on the paper. And I know you're thinking, why did we even bother cutting them apart? Because we need that separation. It tells us what's the top and the bottom part of the face. So when I turn it like this, this would be the top half of his face, this would be the bottom half, and that line shows us where his mouth will open and close. So keep that in mind as you're designing the face for your puppet. Now there's also this gap at the bottom here where we didn't use that foam. That can be for extra things you want to add onto your puppet, like horns, or if you want to add arms or even legs, something like that. It's totally your choice. I'm going to go ahead and draw the design for my puppet, and I'm using permanent marker. There are lots of colors in class for you to choose from. And as I draw the bottom part, I want to make sure that the edge goes to the corner where those pencil lines were. So now I'm drawing the top part of his head. Same thing, I started at the corner where our pencil lines were meeting, and I decided to make a cotton candy themed monster. It's okay if you go outside of the lines as long as you end up back at the corner. Now this is going to be his mouth, so I might want to draw some lips or maybe some fangs. I'm going to go for something silly and draw a giant pair of lips. You do not have to draw lips, that was just my choice. Now I'm going in and adding eyes, I'm going to add a nose, I'm going to take a colored Sharpie, this one's blue, and I'm going to draw some little fluffy bits so he looks even fluffier and poofier. I'm going to color in the mouth. All of these things are details that you get to add, it's totally your choice. When you've finished designing and coloring his face, then you can start doing the mouth. So I'm going to use my template. I'm going to trace all the way around. Remember to get those little triangle bits. Those are very important. And then once I have finished this, I can either add a tongue or I can go ahead and cut it out. Your tongue can be a foam piece that you add on top, or it can be one that you draw. If you're drawing, I want you to imagine there's a center line here, and then you're going to draw your tongue starting at the center line. So I'm drawing one here. Then I decided that his tongue should also be fluffy since he's a cotton candy monster. You can erase a little on foam, but it's not going to erase completely. So if you need to make a correction, you might want to draw it bigger so that you can color over it with Sharpie. So I just made his tongue bigger than I first wanted it so that you could hide, or so that I could hide my pencil lines. And then I'm going to color his tongue pink. Alright, cutting time. When it's time to cut your puppet's face, we are no longer cutting on the pencil lines, we are cutting on our Sharpie drawing lines. Now if you wanted a square monster and you kept his face square, then yes, you would be cutting on your pencil lines, but I imagine most of you will be drawing some really creative face shape with your Sharpie. So I'm cutting all of these little lumps and bumps, and then I'm going to cut right across the lips, a straight line all the way across, so that my puppet's mouth can open and close. You're probably thinking, what are you doing with all those foam scraps, Miss Butler? We're going to put them in the box at the front of the classroom. This is a box for anyone to use those pieces. So if you want to add colored polka dots of foam, you can go in there and take some of those scraps and cut them out. Or if you wanted to add a tongue, you could go in and get a different color of foam to glue on. So anything that's in that box is for you to take. And when you are finished cutting and you don't need your scraps anymore, go ahead and add them to the box so that other people can use your colors as well, because you're only getting 2 colors and you might want to add more. As you can see, I used my mouth scraps to draw horns that I'll cut out in a second, and I'm digging through the box. I found this scrap of white, and I'm going to make a little, I guess he's going to look like a piggy nose, so I'm going to use this scrap to glue on and make a 3-dimensional nose on my puppet. When you have finished drawing and cutting all of your pieces, then you may go to the hot glue gun station and begin hot gluing your puppet. Listen very carefully. If you are not ready to hot glue and the class is ending and you have all of these small bits and pieces, save them in your bag. That's why I gave you a bag. So put all those pieces in your bag and then you can hot glue on the second day of class. So don't panic if you don't finish in time today. That's okay, but save all those pieces. You don't have to dump them in the share box. You can keep them in your own bag. Okay, so let me show you quickly how these pieces will get glued together before you do any actual gluing. Your mouth is going to be able to fold like this, and if you cut the triangles, it'll fold a lot more easily. Now the bottom jaw is going to go around this round part of the mouth. You might have to hold it in place with your hand while you're waiting for the glue to dry, and now I have the bottom jaw attached. My mouth will be able to open and close. Then the top part of the face will get glued onto the top half of the circle. Same thing. When I've glued it down, my mouth can open and close. Okay, I've glued both pieces on. Now you can see his mouth can open and close like this. And then any other little details you have, like horns or a nose or polka dots that you want to add, any other foam shapes that you're adding, can get glued on afterwards. If you are nervous about using a hot glue gun, let me know and I can help you. Ask a friend first just to see if they can help you, because there's only one of me and there's probably 20 of you. But if you don't have a friend that can help you, then yes, I'm absolutely happy to help you. And of course, the last step is writing your name on the back, just in case it gets lost in the hallway somewhere. We know that it's yours.